A good friend of mine is big into ethnic cleansing. Or not ethnic cleansing, golf. I used to get teased over my looks when I was a kid. It's horrible. They used to say things like, "Why don't you go over there and play with the other good looking kids, you fucking asshole." Terrible. I have a theory on how the post-it note was invented. The inventor left a little note for himself saying, "Think of idea for a small but noticeable piece of paper which you can use to store small messages or ideas on." And the next day, he saw it. Yeah, and you say the weirdest things when you're trying to butter up a woman at a club. You know, when you've had a few drinks and you're like, "You've got the same birthday as Steven Spielberg. You should be in films, not pornos. You're too pretty for pornos, but proper films with well thought out subplot." Have you seen the Ukrainian Eurovision entrance this year? It's fucking hilarious. It's got all these guys wearing masks made out of dolphin hide. It's brilliant. Everybody knows men and women are different, but I think it starts from a young age as well. If you go to a kids' party and the boys are just like just beating the shit out of each other, and the girls are like, Susan, would you like some more home brand lemonade? Or if you want, I've got some chamomile tea. And put a twist of lemon in it just to give it a bit of a zing. And then Susan walks away and the girl pouring the drinks turns to a real friend and she's like, "Did you see what her Barbie was wearing? Denim and sequins. What the fuck was she thinking?" Women say that men are shallow, and we are. But women are just as bad. You know, I'm going to tell you a story that's not true. That was told to me by a woman who doesn't exist. She said, "I was going out with this guy for 8 years. We were engaged for another 2. Then we were in a pretty serious car crash, which actually brought us closer together emotionally. Then we went to Nepal and shared a religious experience so utterly profound that I can scarcely put it into words. But then one day, I saw him tucking his shirt into his jeans." No? Whatever happened to Darren? He was lovely and he really liked you. Yeah, he was, but one day I caught him wearing sandals with socks. So I slipped a powerful sedative into his drink, murdered him, cut his body into 7 pieces and sent a piece to each of the great superpowers of the world. Girl, I would have done the exact same thing. One of the things I like about being single, apart from thinking I'm going to die alone clutching a naked picture of Salma Hayek, is the freedom. If I see a beautiful woman walking down the road or whatever, I can say, you know, I don't have to worry about my girlfriend noticing it. You see a lot of guys using their peripheral vision and fucking spoons and everything, trying to catch a glimpse. And sometimes the girlfriend sees him, they're like, "Are you looking at her?" And he's like, "Who, her? No way, she's terrible looking. That healthy, nubile looking goddess. Why would I be looking at her? Look at those slender legs. She doesn't even have cellulite. What kind of a woman doesn't have cellulite? For fuck's sake. Why would I be looking at those perfectly formed breasts glistening in the fading light of yet another perfect evening spent with you, playing bingo?" Why would I want her when I could come home to you, my little underachieving, self-doubting, perpetually miserable, eternally moaning, whinging gorgon of a woman? Excuse me. These are all new, so I've never actually said them out loud before. I love movies. I especially like directors' commentaries. I know a lot of people find them boring, but I'm an apprentice filmmaker myself, so I find they can offer some fantastic insights into the world of filmmaking. But sometimes the director will say things that you just don't need to know. I shot this scene 3 days after my daughter learned how to say the alphabet. My daughter's school is 4 stories high and has a car park that can accommodate 14 vehicles. What? The remedial math teacher at my daughter's school has a rare butterfly collection from Saigon and can recite pi to 20 decimal places. After I shot the scene, I went home and cooked my wife dinner. She later gave me shit because when I scooped the peas out of the pot, I scraped some Teflon out with it, which she later told me she could taste in her meal. Oh, look at this. Thomas, the actor here, scratches his nose. He later told me he did that because his nose was itchy and was in bad need of scratching. I love westerns as well, especially the villains in bad westerns. They're always pointing out the obvious. Well, would you look at that, boss? Looks like ever since we tied his legs together, he's been having a lot of trouble walking. You know my face? Yeah. That's because I'm the one who raped your wife. Bet that makes you pretty angry, don't it? Yeah. I love my wife. I like it when good things happen to her, not bad things like rape. They can do great things with CGI now. If you hire an actor who's perfect for the role in almost every way, and they give this emotionally charged powerhouse performance, but they're ginger, you can film it, put it into the computer, sit down with the computer and say, no computer, this is all wrong. You have to make them blonde or bald. Anything with ginger. So that's one of the ways I might die. I might be torn apart by a group of angry ginger thespians. And they are out there. I hate it when the advertisers tricked the cinema going public. I went to see The Never Ending Story when I was a kid. The Never Ending Story. Thinking it was going to be very good value. 2 hours after it began, it was over. Thanks a million. Thanks.